If you were disappointed after seeing Wicked for Good, you're not alone. I think a lot of people were expecting something big after the hype of the first movie and left out seeing something pretty mediocre. And in this video, I'm going to share my thoughts and then I'm going to explain what I think would make it better. Hey everyone, my name is Jordan and I love watching movies and then I share my thoughts about them. For those of you who've been following me around, you probably noticed I took a few breaks this year, and so I'm going to explain that after this video, so just wait until the very end and I'll explain it. But we do have a movie review to get to, so let's get to it. Oh, also if you're new here, welcome. Okay, we need to set the scene for a second. So remember a year ago when Wicked came out, it was the biggest hype since Barbieheimer in 2023. It was one of Broadway's best musicals to ever come out in the 21st century, and you could only see the story if you actually went to go see the play. And so for the first time, people who couldn't go afford the play or want to see it over and over again can now see it. It was also announced that this movie was going to be a two-parter. I put my two down here. I meant to put it up here. Anyways, the hype was just growing as we were getting closer to the first film. And when the first film came out, oh my goodness, what an experience. It was so much fun to watch. Everyone was having a good time. They even had to release a special sing along on Christmas Day just so the theater kids can sing during the movie. Otherwise, everyone was pissed off at them because they were singing. And the first film was received really well. I mean, it was so good that even Ariana made me drop my popcorn. And if you want to know why, I do have a video, so I will link that here, wherever, or put it in the description. You can watch that after this. But something shifted when the second film came out. I didn't see any hype around it online. Yeah, I saw the press tours, but most people were talking about the health of Cynthia and Ariana.
Me? Not the time, helicopter!
When the film finally came out, it kind of arrived quietly. And I think it might still be in theaters right now, but I don't think it's going to last until February like last year. Last year, the first film was on Letterboxd, #1 for a few weeks. I was watching that. But then this year, I don't even think it made the first ranking on Letterboxd. I think it only went to #2 and then it dropped down pretty quickly. I didn't get to see Wicked for Good this year right away like I did last year. I was studying for my real estate exams, and so when I finally got around to it, I just didn't really hear much about Wicked. I mean, last year it was the talk of the town. Oh my goodness. Even when I posted my Wicked review in February, that was one of my biggest videos of last year, and I just don't feel like this video is going to be the same. I hope you can prove me wrong. But what I'm saying is, I don't think there was a lot of hype for it. I'm not really seeing it much on social media like I was last year. And let me know if you feel the same. I just don't think there's a lot of word of mouth on this. I just wanted to share that little bit of history just because when I saw the second movie, I didn't feel like it was that magical. I didn't get the sense of that magic nostalgia that the first one did. Some of my friends were also pretty hesitant to share their actual thoughts about the second film until I was like, I don't think it was that good. And they're like, oh my goodness, it wasn't that good. So if you feel that you are not alone, other people are feeling that too. They might not be able to vocalize it because, it's Wicked. You can't say anything bad about it. Well, my friend Jack, he's like, nah, it's not that good. He was very vocal about it the first time. He was kind about it. Anyways, sorry, Jack. Put you under the bus. So let's get into this, starting with the energy that the cast put out. It was not that much. It felt like the first film, they put so much time and energy, heart and soul into it, and you saw that in that first film. But the second film, it seemed dreary. It was slower. It didn't feel like there was that much passion in there. I don't think people were giving their 100%. Don't get me wrong, Ariana was still the best part of this film. Her performance level went down just a little notch. She did not blow me away. I did not even have popcorn. I wasn't going to spill my popcorn this round, so sorry. My friend mentioned this, and so I'm kind of like repeating after her, but it kind of makes sense after watching. Cynthia seemed pretty sleepy during the film, it seemed like she got out of character many times. It seemed like she was just being herself and not Elphaba. Well, and then Jeff Goldblum, well, he didn't do anything. He just, I don't know what he was there for. But oh my goodness, Michelle Yeoh, she was the worst part of this film. She was the worst actor in this film. She could not act, she could not sing, and I don't know what her dancing thing was when she was conjuring up the storm, but I haven't seen an atrocity like that since 6 earthbenders were trying to move a pebble. Now, while I get that actors do share responsibilities of their performances, I blame most, if not all of this, on the director, John M. Chu. And the rest of this video, I am going to just go after him. He's the reason why this movie sucked, and I'm putting 100% of the blame on him. Okay, so while we're still talking about the acting, I do want to start with that and his responsibility there. He is fully responsible for the whole casting decisions. He was great with Ariana. I will give him credit with that. He was great with Cynthia. I'll give him credit with that. And like Jonathan Bailey, great with that. But he is 100% to blame on Michelle Yeoh. He knows Madame Morrible sings. That is part of the movie, the show, the whole thing. Why would he cast a lady who cannot sing? She could not sing, she could not act for this role, and yet he still casted her. Why? Oh my goodness. Dude, cast someone who can sing. Really, that's bare minimum, please. But besides casting horribly for Madame Morrible, let's talk a little bit more about the acting itself. The acting in this second film felt super stiff, and it was very slow. I don't blame the actors in it because you do take quite a few takes, but in this, it felt like he pulled an Ed Wood where he just took the first shot, and he's like, yep, good enough. And you can tell that the actors were pretty tired in the second film. And so in this second film, when you're going back to back with filming 2 movies that are about 5 hours long, they were tired. My example is when Glinda and Elphaba are having their little cat fight after Nessa dies. Oh my goodness, they took their time saying their lines. It felt like they had time to breathe and stuff. You don't do that in a fight. You don't do that at all. In an actual argument, it is very snappy. You're like da 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 da. And even in the stage play, they're pretty snappy, but in this version, they weren't. They took their time saying their lines. I even had to send the stage play version to my friend just to show her, like, no, this scene is actually really good and funny. It did not do well there. And okay, side note, for those who are diehard Wicked fans, you probably noticed that they moved the broomstick and bubble line earlier. That was a huge mistake because right there it seemed more of a friendly banter. But in the original scene, the catfight scene, that is supposed to be fuel to the argument. It was amazing in the stage play, but of course John M. Chu's like, I gotta do it my way, and oh, ruined it. Okay, now let's get to the effects of this film. None of it blew me away, but there was a few technical errors. Well, not a few, many technical errors, but there's one in particular that just was so noticeable. I don't know what was happening on set that day, but my goodness, in the song For Good, Ariana's microphone was pretty muffled. I mean, kind of like my microphone right here. Probably low quality Walmart $17 one. She sounded not good. Not her singing, but her, you know what I'm saying. On the other hand, Cynthia was crystal clear. I'm like, did no one go back and watch this take? Did not one person look at it and be like, hey, I think Ariana doesn't sound as good. Could we maybe swap out her mic, maybe put it in a different position? Could we do something? Because she's not sounding as crystal clear as Cynthia. Like, no one thought for the most emotional moment of Act 2, the whole story, the climax, hey, microphone's not that good. And then, I swear, this just keeps going on and on. And I'm not even to the worst part yet. But then John decided, hey, let's add 2 more songs. Which, okay, Steven Schwartz wrote the songs, and he is the original songwriter for the stage play. So he does have some responsibility to this. But at the same time, I still blame John M. Chu because the songs weren't that good. Elphaba's song, horrendous. It was boring, unemotional. I don't remember the tune to it, and it just didn't make sense. It didn't do anything in this plot. It didn't share anything. She said what the whole song was about literally 2 seconds before that. But I will say Glinda's song was a little bit better. I think it could have been a little bit more catchier, but it was still fine. It just wasn't as like they were hyping it up like, oh, this song is going to make people cry. I didn't cry. I also don't cry in movies. I only cried once in a movie, Bridge to Terabithia. If you know, you know. We don't talk about Bruno, no. I had a theory they could have gone a little bit more with it, but they chose not to, so it didn't compete with For Good. Also, don't get me started at the cinematography direction with that. It made me so dizzy. Oh my goodness. I don't know what they were doing there. But just because you can do cool tricks like that does not mean you can do it completely for the whole song. It was moving on. I still blame John M. Chu for everything. Also, another thing, they kept interrupting with all the songs. A friend told me that it was really hard for her to follow the plot. She's never seen the stage play, so this is her first time watching the whole thing. But the second one, she was having a hard time following the plot. And I'm like, I think it's probably because they kept cutting in between the songs. They were trying to be all theatrical and be like, ooh, we can totally like cut the song here, do a little some action scenes, and then continue the song. It didn't work. In the stage play, there's only one song that was written to be song slash dialogue. That was Nessa's song, which they already screwed up there too. They made it very confusing. But why can't they just sing the whole song in its entirety? All right, let's get to the worst part. I think is the most unforgivable thing that John M. Chu did in this film. That was Dorothy. Whew, I had some oomph in that. That's how pissed off I am. Let me explain why I think the Dorothy part was the most unforgivable and that made John M. Chu the worst director for this film. I hated so much how he portrayed Dorothy to go after Elphaba, to pour water on her on purpose, and then raise her broom victoriously. She was clearly trying to pour the water on her rather than it being a complete accident. I thought this was by far the most unforgivable part because it completely changes Dorothy. It changes her motivation, it changes her personality, her morals, everything. When she raised that broomstick, she wasn't horrified, she wasn't confused, she was victorious. That changes everything. In this moment, John M. Chu made Dorothy the villain instead of the wizard. Let me be clear on that. I understand Wicked is a reimagining of the story. I think there are so many stories that are reimagines of worlds that we already know. I completely get that, but you also have to stay grounded in your source material. In The Wizard of Oz, Dorothy didn't mean to pour water on the Wicked Witch. She was just trying to get some fire off Scarecrow and it accidentally went on the witch and she melted. And she was crying, she was apologetic. She was so disturbed that she killed the Wicked Witch. She did not mean for that to happen. And that just shows who her character really was. She couldn't even hurt a fly. Then you contrast that with this version, John M. Chu's version, and he just completely changes her. The stage play didn't even do that. The stage play just showed her throwing the bucket of water, and that was it. So when John M. Chu made Dorothy unapologetic in this action, she is no longer a pawn to the wizard. She's playing the game with him. I hated that so much. Anyways, I had so much to say about this film. I probably had way more thoughts that I didn't share. But one thing's for sure, I don't really plan on ever wanting to watch this again. Which is a bummer. Wicked is my favorite all-time musical, Okay, so to wrap this up, what would I change about this film? Get a new director. That's it. John M. Chu ruined this. He is a horrible director. He shows that he cannot be trusted with big properties like this. I get taking some liberties to make, your own things, but there are some parts in your source material you should not change. They will be unforgivable if you change. And that's what he did, and he is now forever the one of the worst directors in my eyes. Anyways, let me know your thoughts. Are you as pissed off as I was about him? Or were there other things that you're like, nah, this did not do well for me? Or did you enjoy it? I'm just kind of curious. And if you are diehard Wicked fans, did you notice any lines that were omitted from the film or placed in other areas? Let me know if you caught any of that. So, thank you for joining me on my little vent session with Wicked for Good. So, if you like this video, go ahead and give it a like. And if you want to join more movie reviews, definitely give me a subscribe. I'll be here, you'll be here. We're going to laugh, have fun. Now, I want to talk about my absence. So, for those who have followed me for a while and want to know, this is it. And if you haven't, well, you know what? Let's be transparent. You guys sit in on this little family moment because you might be a part of the family real soon. Last January, I started this YouTube channel. I had a ton of free time on my hands, so I was posting videos left and right. I was having so much fun. Some of you followed me during that time. It was fun. I was trying to figure out what this was. During the summer, I went up to Montana and worked remote. I was with my parents. I honestly had one of the best summers I've ever had in such a while. During that time, I was also kind of thinking, oh, maybe I should change the channel direction. So I was kind of working on that during the summer. But towards the end of the summer, I just didn't want to go back to Phoenix. I had to make a decision. If I wanted to stay in Montana, I needed to change my career because there wasn't many marketing positions out here. I wasn't really finding anything online either. And so I decided, you know what? I'm gonna go into real estate. And so, yeah, since August, I've been studying so much with my real estate. I had to go back to Phoenix for a little bit. And so I was studying real estate and also trying out my YouTube channel. Started a different direction. Oh my goodness, 2 videos in, no one liked it. So I unlisted those videos. But then I was starting to do other things like doing little shorts with my Christmas ornaments, trying out different types of videos that related with movies. But I was focusing so much on that 2 months before my test, I'm like, I'm not retaining any of my real estate. So I really had to hunker down. And so I had to make the decision to pause my YouTube channel. But I will say, I did pass my test. So I am currently, at this moment, interviewing with some brokers. I have one top one that I really want to work with. All to say this, my first year on YouTube was quite messy. I'm pretty sure I confused the algorithm every 2 seconds when I tried to do something different or I took a little break. But you know what? I'm done moving, I'm done studying, and I'm done trying to figure out something different to do with my YouTube channel. So moving forward, we're going to keep this simple. We are going to do movie reviews on this channel. I'm going to watch movies, I'm going to share my thoughts, we're going to have some laughs, and that's it. I'm going to try and do this once or twice a month. If you want to see more of me, definitely subscribe and help this channel grow. I want this to be real. I want this to be fun. That's kind of why my channel name is True Real. I want this to be real. And so I was just trying to chase a lot of trends and stuff. And I mean, it was fun, but I don't know. I just kind of like this low-key movie reviews. So anyways, if you are still here at this minute marker of the video, I just want to say thank you so much for those who are my subscribers and stuck around during this whole year. It's been quite a journey. So thank you. And I'm looking forward for all the new people who decide to join. So until next time, keep watching movies.